Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott Selections here for Friday, January 29th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We're going to bring up a nice easy winner in our only play. Give out Weber State minus 12.5 at plus 100 on Fox Bet. Line surprisingly dropped, closed at around 11.5. Did not matter. Weber State absolutely destroyed them in the second half and won that game by 20 plus. So a very nice, easy winner. We're going to be looking for another winner here in college basketball on Friday. And for today's play of the day, we're going to be sticking with something that we did yesterday, and it's going to be fading really, really bad teams in college basketball. And the choice for today is going to be fading Cal Poly, as it ends up taking on CSU Northridge. And we're going to be taking Northridge minus 4.5 at minus 110 on FanDuel. The time recording of 2:12 a.m. Eastern time. Couple reasons why I like Northridge in this spot. First of all, both teams are pretty underwhelming so far this season. Northridge is 5-6, 1-3 in conference play. However, Cal Poly is 2-10 and 0-6 in conference play. So Cal Poly has been easily the worst team in the Big West all season long. And if you look at the actual wins that Cal Poly has this season, it ended up beating San Jose State by 2. San Jose State's also a pretty underwhelming team and ended up winning the first game of the season against a non-D1 team. So that means that Cal Poly against D1 competition is 1-10 this year, and I simply think that 4.5 is too low of a number. You've already seen this number climb a little bit as Northridge was -3 on the opener. Now it's up to mostly -5 market-wide, but it is still available at 4.5 on FanDuel. So for that reason, I am going to get in early before it probably closes at around 6, 6.5, something like that. But looking at the actual efficiency numbers that kind of just showcase how big of a mismatch there are between these two teams. Northridge ranks 208th in offensive efficiency according to KenPom, whereas Cal Poly ranks 344th. So you have a pretty huge differential there between offensive quality, and I think Northridge should be able to take advantage of Cal Poly's defense, which is also very, very underwhelming. If you look at Cal Poly's defense, it ranks 306th in adjusted defense efficiency according to KenPom. So I think Cal Poly's defense will struggle against Northridge, who might end up pushing 75 to 80 in this game. And I think that even though Northridge's defense is pretty underwhelming, Cal Poly's offense isn't very good, and I think it will struggle in the process. But looking at another factor that I do like Northridge in, it's the rebounding rate for these teams. Now, the stats or the efficiency numbers are going to look very closely to one another. However, there's a reason why I think these numbers are a little bit misleading and why it's actually a bigger disparity than what the numbers showcase. And CSU Northridge currently ranks 320th in rebounding rate, whereas Cal Poly ranks 325th. So Cal Poly is slightly worse on the boards. However, Northridge has had a ton of COVID issues so far this season, and it has missed a lot of key players. And one player who is finally back in the lineup is Ron Artest III. Now, Ron Artest III played in one of the earlier games in November, then didn't play for about 2.5 months, and then he ended up returning in the last game for Northridge in that loss to Santa Barbara. However, according to numbers, he is the team's leading rebounder at 6.5 rebounds per game. And if you look at the current rebounding rate for Northridge, it kind of makes sense that it is so low when his best rebounder didn't play in about 9 of the 11 games this team has already played. So I do think that Northridge should end up dominating the boards a little bit more than these numbers indicate. And I do think that Northridge should be able to dominate offensively against Cal Poly's very abysmal defense. Looking at the numbers in terms of percentages, Northridge is shooting roughly 5% higher from the floor, roughly 3% higher from 3, and roughly 5% higher from the foul line. So Cal Poly really should struggle offensively, at least in comparison to Northridge. I think Northridge should be pretty motivated to get back on track, especially after it got a decent amount of players back after it ended up missing most of the season. But looking at the actual numbers here, I simply just think Northridge should win this game by probably about 8 points or so. This game might be close for a little while, but I do think eventually Northridge will be able to blow it open. I think they'll be able to get the job done. So for that reason, the play of the day, once again here in college basketball for Friday, January 29th, is going to be on CSU Northridge minus 4.5, which is available on FanDuel at minus 110. That's been Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.